Thank you. I do appreciate that.
If Jacob shows up, we need to thank him too.
Hello.
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 Oh,
Happy Thursday.
Yes, indeed.
Before we get started, Tim,
yes.
is this like YouTube where we can get demonetized if I use bad language in the first 30 seconds of the video?
No.
Is that a thing on YouTube?
It is a
Because-
thing on
Wait,
YouTube.
This
that
does
implies he's
go-
getting money in the first place.
Yes. Well, one, yeah, that's true. But also, I do actually put this on YouTube. So, but I'm not monetized there. So.
Okay,
but,
then in
whatever.
response to what you sent me,
Listen, it
what
was
the
hilarious.
fuck? What the
Listen.
fuck?
Imagine,
I don't even
I
understand.
have no idea, but that was the proper
Imagine that it is a
response to whatever
cat
that was.
saying these things,
Oh.
and suddenly it all makes sense.
So when do the mole people show up?
Listen,
Right
I
after
feel
the
like
Cybermen.
I feel like we're gonna have to do a check to find out when the mole people show up.
yeah, they just burrow out from underneath our ship. It's gonna be great.
Welcome to Star Trek
Hi,
Lexington,
welcome.
Last of the Line. This is the Rabid Haberdashery Star Trek game.
Yes, Star
that we
Trek.
started at Extra Life,
Yes.
and we're very excited to be resuming after a couple weeks off.
Sorry, I had to go make money.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, my ability to make money is directly tied to my ability to do this game. Because if I'm on the streets, it's really hard to GM.
That's true. Speaking of, you can give me money with my
Yes,
Patreon
do that.
right there.
So
Segue.
Tim has to host the stream, so it's a lot easier for him when he doesn't have to host from a stream corner in somewhere in Massachusetts.
I did actually get a new job. I did actually get hired this week at a job, a
Hey,
real life
congrats.
actual job.
Not another gas station.
No, not almost. It was almost a gas station. I got called back from the gas
It's
station
like-
today.
Uh-oh.
No, it was a Walgreens.
Hey, it's all good.
That's
So
not
can we
much
call
different.
So can we call you a drug dealer?
Maybe.
Uh,
I will be a shift supervisor and not working in the pharmacy. It'll be a store shift supervisor. But they did suggest that I could get more money if I take the training to go and help out in the pharmacy from time to time. So
oh yeah, do it.
Likely,
well.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if they don't pay you more money, they're jipping you, man.
yeah,
Yes.
So you're like basically like a senior Skippy?
Or a junior Skippy. I don't know. How does that work?
No, he's a senior. Skippy only wishes he was Tim.
I mean, I've already
I
gone
don't know.
through that training, so
Oh no!
Oh, no,
you're not,
Skippy-
I
but
wanna
you're not a
tune into that
manager yet, are
sitcom.
you?
no, well, I'm not a manager, but I am a certified tech.
Skippy
I-
finally has something on one of us. Oh my god, it finally happened.
yeah.
I want to see that sitcom of Skippy training Tim. That'd be awesome.
That
like,
would be-
welcome your first day. Like, I'd tune in. That's prime
Yeah.
time television right there.
Yeah, it is a shame he got to that license before me, though. But I have had a few other licenses prior to this one.
I love how this conversation going. I had a few other licenses. I've lost most of them.
I've
for
allowed
great
them.
stories.
I have. they're not stored. I allowed them to lapse because I no longer worked at that job. I have had. I can usually recall, off the top of my head, somewhere in the mid-40s number of jobs that I've had. And I always end up finding out that I forgot some. So it's one of those things where it's like I had a license for this job, and then by the time that license expired, I didn't have that job anymore, so I didn't renew it. Has happened a few times.
He used to be licensed until he took an arrow to the knee.
And then someone stole his sweet roll.
Yep.
Shame.
I feel like that was
Anyhow.
an event.
So, we can give Tim money. We can also give money to Extra Life, right, Tim?
Yeah, we
Take
can.
it away.
But first, I'm gonna share a second way that you can give me money. Is right there. So anyway. Yeah, so Patreon is a thing, and I have stuff up there. You get behind-the-scenes looks at my notes for various campaigns that I'm building. I'm not building this one, so you won't get notes on it. But In Memoriam, as well as the Paleolithic campaign that I have up, are getting updates there. Also, coffee, if you are cool with not getting anything but cool content in exchange for your money. And we also are indeed fundraising for Extra Life. So if you go to our team page linked there, you can donate to a Children's Miracle Network hospital of our choice. And all the money that you donate will go straight to the hospital. You can pick anyone on the team and donate to their page, or you can donate to the team. If you donate to a person, you'll donate to whatever hospital they have set up. Most of us are raising for Boston Children's. However, we also have Orlando, Bay State, Norfolk, Virginia, Buffalo, San Diego. I think that's all of them. Is that all of them? I feel like that's all of them that we have right now. So I mean, like, there's multiple hospitals you can support. All the money goes to the hospital to help kids in need. So definitely hit that up. We are a bit shy of our team goal for this year. So by the end of the year, if you could drop some cash in there, we and the kids would greatly appreciate it.
Mind the kids, because they're the ones that actually need it, not us. We're having fun. The kids need help.
We appreciate it in that we are happy that it's happening. And yes, also thank you, Eric, bringing that up. You can subscribe to this channel now because we are that type of situation.
Yay.
And if you don't have money to throw at it, but you do have Amazon Prime, you can use your Prime subscription to get a free month, and then just renew it every month. And this channel gets paid without you having to pay any extra money out of your pocket.
Yay.
So, definitely hit us up for that as well. And, once this channel starts, like, raking in money, we can do even more cool things, like how I desperately need to update the intro for this game. And,
Tim, I do videography. Tim could pay me to make an actual
that's
intro
true.
to
I
a
could
game.
pay this guy to make an actual video intro to this game. So, throw some money at the Patreon or the coffee or the subscriptions, and that can happen.
You need to make that a goal. That means
Yes.
be like a.
I do need to make that a goal. That is a thing.
That makes a smart goal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if you got too many goals going on, but I guess
I have
not.
so currently on the channel I have 0 goals listed, and I should definitely have that
there you
as
go.
a goal listed.
Goal 1. Perfect.
Goal 1, have a goal.
Yeah.
Goal 2.
Goal
Check.
1, make a
We
list.
accomplished the goal. Yeah.
Goal
Yeah, this
2.
is easy.
Repeat goal
This
1.
is easy. I never thought
We could
goals
be
could
the-
be so easy.
We can be the most goal-winningest channel there is. Oh god.
Anyway.
Anywho, back on the farm. All right, is that it? We're good.
Yeah, that's all. We can have it be all the plugs for now.
Hey. That's... All right, let's get back to the fun space shit. Woo. All right, so where our intrepid Trekkies left off last 3 weeks ago. So they had just made it back to Iosia, the nebula, and they had a very eventful trip there. Figured out a bunch of stuff about the Iosian ship. They figured out how to disable the drones, like the connection between them, different weaknesses of the Iosian ships. Figured out a whole bunch about the AI and how that works. And they unplugged half the captain of the Iosian ship's brain, so that's been a fun experience for that dude. They also learned that Captain Sherman sits down like Commander Riker does, so that was earth-shattering. But yes, where we left off at the last seconds of the last game is we made it back to Iosia, made it through the edge of the nebula, and were met by a whole bunch of Iosian ships. And that's where we continue. All right. Does everyone remember? Did anyone have anywhere particular they were in the last session, like some on the bridge, engineering, or whatever? Or did we not establish that?
I don't
think we
believe we established that.
I remember we were
Okay.
in the mess hall, and then after that, it all got fuzzy.
Yeah, after the mess hall, that was a few days before this. So, all right. So for our current purposes, everyone who does work on the bridge will be on the bridge. So that would include Matt at communications. Eric would be. Would it be tactical or helm? You think? You're helm, right?
No, it's navigation. Helm
Navigation.
is a different
right.
thing.
You're astrogation. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at astrogation, and of the people here, I think that's the only ones who would be on the bridge. Although when we detect the Iosian ships coming, Tim is going to be called to the bridge just as a diplomatic backup because things might get interesting. Who's also going to be called up to the bridge is the Iosian captain, If I
Yes.
pull up his name, that was Abnir.
You definitely pronounced it Abnar last time.
Well, I spelled it Abnir, so I don't know what I did.
Okay.
Abnir. I don't know.
It depends what part of Iosia you're from. It's those
Yeah,
accents,
it's an
you know?
accent thing.
It's that's
Yeah,
a Boston
it is an
Boston Iosian accent right there. There.
Bostosians.
Bostosian.
Bostosian. Yeah, we don't go to that part of Iosia. Yeah.
That's why there's a desert. That's where they send off Bostosians.
Yeah. Philadelphia is where you go to die, though.
Well, yes, it is.
And we are not even gonna bring up Flordosians. Those
Floridosia. Oh. What about Tribolosia? Okay. So everyone is going to arrive to the bridge about the same time we get intercepted by the Iosian ships, because obviously we are detecting them coming before they actually get there. So that means that we've got Tim, Eric, and Matt, plus the regular bridge crew, and Abnir, the captain, on the bridge. All right, Matt. Communication comes in. One of the Iosian ships is hailing. By the way, there's 10 of them, so each with 10 drone ships. So yeah, so that's 100 drone ships and 10 command ships right now. Are you talking, Matt? I can't hear you. Okay. All right, Matt. So the hail's coming in. What do you do?
Is it just one hail coming in, or is
Yeah,
it one
coming in
per
from-
ship?
No, one from one of the ships, the one dead middle of the formation.
I'll tell the captain that we're being hailed by one of the motherships from Iosia.
This is
Capture.
an entire culture ruled by a single AI obsessed with efficiency, and you thought you were going to get 10 simultaneous hails?
It's
I
a
mean, it
DDoS
would be
attack.
efficient.
if you missed the other 9, you got the 10th
All right.
Yeah.
At that same moment, a little light on your console is going to come up. Now, remember how we figured out a way to filter out the virus?
Yeah.
That's what they just tried to send again.
Yeah.
But we stopped it, so Captain's going to know that little information. So, screen blips on, and there's just a Iosian captain. Looks basically identical to the captain we know, same uniform and everything. Because interspecies identification can be hard, so you really can't tell any difference between them. But so
That's racist.
Captain is. It probably is. So screen goes on and says, Captain Sherman goes, "Greetings there, Iosian ships. How are you doing today?" And the Iosian captain goes, "Federation vessels, what are you doing in possession of one of our ships?" Captain Sherman goes, "Well, good day to you too. Before I get to that, I want to let you know that we detected the virus that you tried to send over to us. Yeah, that's not going to work anymore. We're on to your guys' game. I want to rethink that. Iosian captain is going to blink 3 times, which for an Iosian that's still under control of programming, that's a very big reaction. And the captain will repeat, "I will repeat my question. What are you doing in possession of our ship?" Captain Sherman says, "All right, moving right along then. Well, your ship tried to attack us, so we stopped it from attacking us. And now we've come back here to bring you back your property and work out some details on some things we figured out. Yeah, so we need to have a conversation." And he's going to turn over to you, Tim, and say, "Would you like to elaborate on this a little bit for our friends here, Lieutenant Commander?"
All right. So out of character.
Yes.
Why is my superior officer not doing that?
Because because this is a game and I have to give you something to do. Because I
All
don't
right,
want
cool.
to talk to myself for the next 30 minutes.
That makes sense. All right. Also,
the
because it's
bathroom.
Star Trek, it's something. All right.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's
Yeah, Chipotle.
so the
It-
show can happen.
It's yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that logic.
That is a perfectly valid answer. I just wanted to know if there was like a thing that my character should know that influences
No, except
why
you've
he's
been
doing
you've been
this.
heavily involved in this whole process.
Okay.
So yes, that's the explanation. Let's not think too much about it. Anyhow,
Yeah, that's fine. It's just if it was like, oh, your superior officer is like having an aneurysm, like that's something I feel like I should know that might affect how I
no.
play this. All right, so,
Actually, no. In character, he's gonna start coughing like. Excuse me, I got something caught in my throat. Lieutenant Commander, you take over for a moment. There you go. Does that work for an explanation?
all right. Yeah. So he asked if I wanted to say anything to it.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
You're taking over because he has something caught in his throat and he has to step away
Yeah.
for a second. That's. Let's go with that.
Sorry. Sorry about
So
that.
the last thing he asked is what we're doing with the ship, and
Yeah.
we explained. because
Did
of
he
the
respond to that? Saying
not
that
yet.
that we were returning the ship?
Not yet. No.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna say in accordance with the treaty that we just signed with you last time we were here, we are seeking a peaceful resolution to this situation that arose in which your ship attacked us. As you can see, we are returning the ship unharmed. We have the full complement of crew. No one has been killed, and we are hoping to have peaceful discussions about it. In fact, we have the captain right here. If you would like to ask him any questions about his treatment or the treatment of his crew.
And so the other captain will turn his focus. Captain Abnir, explain the situation to me. Captain Abnir, pause go. Well, it's been an interesting time for all. When Abnir talks like this, the other Iosian captain blinks like just. It looks like something is short-circuiting. Because that's apparently not how he's supposed to talk.
Yeah.
Abnir goes on. So, yes, they figured out a lot. They pretty much know our whole scheme. That we upload viruses to other civilizations in order to cripple them. They know about the program and how we are controlled by the program through one of our two brains. But based on your rapid fire blinking, I'm guessing you can tell that I probably don't sound like I normally do. That's because, and sit down for this one because it's gonna. You're not sure how you're gonna take this, but they disconnected the brain that contains the programming. So who you're hearing talk now is entirely my organic self. The Iosian captain's jaw is going to drop. Or the other Iosian captain's jaw is going to drop. And so Abnir is going to say, all right. I've had a lot of time to think as myself this last little while on the way back here. We have to reconsider some things. I think that we need to let our new Federation friends have a direct conversation with the program, the main program, to see if we can get this sorted out.
I'll whisper lowly, be like, the main program?
Got the actual AI, like the hub.
The big boss.
The other captain is going to say, you do understand that this is an unprecedented situation on every level. First,
Perfect time for
was that in character?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's unprecedented on all of our fronts.
So, are you informing me that they forcibly detached half of your brain, or forcibly detached one of your brains? Abner goes,
Nakamura cringes a little bit, like, ugh.
Now I have been very clear with Avnir that this was a temporary and optional procedure that we can reverse if he so chooses. I would like to.
I reiterate
I
the
would like
question.
the record to show, out of character, that this is information that Avnir has had for a month.
I will repeat the question. Did you ask for consent in order to detach one?
I wasn't saying that
your
in
brain?
character. No, that was
Oh,
none of that was in character.
sorry. We need a sign that goes up in character. Out of character.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's also that should not be another goal.
it should be another goal.
A Wile E. Coyote sign.
Behind like a 50-cent little flag.
On air.
Put up.
No, you need like an on air and then like off air button. You know, like
Button.
a radio station.
Or we could be crazy and be one of those groups that plays entirely in character, except for the like nothing. Oh, that would be.
It's
that
so
would-
No one does that. That's all editing. So this is
that is all editing, yo.
Good. Good. Okay. So the original question was forcibly.
Yeah.
So did you say anything to that at all, Tim, or was that?
No, he's asking Abnir, and it would be bad form to interrupt that.
Very good. Abner goes, well, did they ask beforehand? No. However, it is an entirely reversible procedure. And so anytime I choose, other captain interrupts. So why have you not elected to have the programming reinstated? Abner says, that's something that we get to the other point, that if we can talk to the main program, that needs to be discussed, because there's a lot going on right now that affects our entire civilization, our relations with the Federation or anyone else. We've got to. This is a situation that's bigger than literally every single one of us here. Other captain says, so that takes us to the second unprecedented. We have never had anyone from outside of our society directly communicate with the program. Abner goes, I understand that. And that's kind of the point. Captain Sherman's going to step back in and say, sorry, excuse me, I'm better now. Yes, Captain, we want to make this work. We want to bring it into the Federation. But what we also want to make sure is that you're not going around crippling other civilizations and stealing their resources. I will say right now, we are absolutely not going to let that happen. And if necessary, we will take all measures that we have to in order to do it.
Now,
He's going to nudge. What?
I was saying, no, I would like to remind, I would like to add that we are aware that the program's original intent was to ensure that you had enough resources to provide for your people's continued survival, and it has done a very good job of that. What we are offering here is a way to do that and maintain peaceful relations without having to continue with this course of action with raiding other societies, because the Federation has abundant resources that we freely share among our members.
The other captain is going to just stare, blink for a moment, and go, I will contact the High Council. I will return to you as soon as we have a response. Blip. The entire fleet turns around, heads back to Iosia.
I think we can count
Captain
that as
Sherman's, well, that could have gone a hell of a lot worse. I didn't even have to. Thank you for stopping me, Lieutenant Commander. I was about to pull our trump card and have tactical over there disable all their drones just to show that we mean business. But keep that close to the vest for a while longer.
Remember,
So,
Captain, you can only surprise them with that once.
On the note of trump
that's
cards,
true.
Wow.
That's
Well said.
On the note of trump cards, that reminded me of something I did discuss with the captain last session. So I was hoping if I could, like, at this point, come up, walk in, it's like, hey, I got, like, the 50 different MacGuffins you asked me to make last time.
I'm gonna
So, like,
need a
that just-
refresher on this.
It was one of those things that I gradually remember. Is like, you remember how I asked because you remember those things that disabled all their technology on their ships, and I said, hey,
Yes.
wouldn't it be a good idea to, like, mass produce them?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, that does sound like a good idea. You should get everyone equipped with one, and you should get on making them. And that was, like, before the time skip. So I imagine by this point, I can just go around and give, like, everyone that the captain decides one of the
It's going to be everyone lieutenant commander and above. So all of our crew has it.
and you get a MacGuffin. And
You get a MacGuffin. Everyone that's
Oprah
lieutenant commander
Finfree
above gets
has
a MacGuffin.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Abner. I'm going to turn to Abe, and I'm going to say, hey, so it sounds like you've opted to remain separate from the AI.
Oh, I didn't say that, but for right now, I want to see this play out before I make any decisions.
Okay. Just checking in.
But all right, so he's gonna say, my number one goal, because for the first time ever, I actually know how to care, which is a weird feeling. I care that my civilization and society survives, and just based purely on logic, now that the jig is up, that you know our scheme, it's not going to work anymore. So the Federation, yeah, I think that's our only chance of survival now. So we're going to have to...
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true, because if they don't join, we're telling everybody.
Please tell me that was in character.
That was probably
choose to
that was more of her.
fault.
That was a realization. Like, yeah, it's in character. But yeah, that's the realization. Like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, 100%. That's what would happen.
All right. So we're the four ships in the fleet. We're gonna follow the Iosians back to Iosia, their planet, of course, and enter orbit because that's what you do.
Yeah.
So in orbit, it's going to be about a day before you get any communication. You're going to hail the planet, nothing. Absolutely dead radio silence. Until finally, you get hailed by the Grand Chancellor. You remember her
Yeah.
from way back in the day. It's been a while.
Yeah, I discussed some good conversations
It's
about
been months.
It has been.
biomechanical engineering, which now seems like it's gonna fall through.
Well, that depends on if they join the Federation. You might have
That is
this may be a rocky patch to a beautiful friendship that comes through. So,
Who knew that my closest allies would be the people that are scavengers ripping apart people and civilizations?
Who could have seen
Yeah.
that coming?
could have. Grand Chancellor is going to hail and is going to say, Captain, you have been quite busy. Sherman goes, Grand Chancellor, you could say that. So, I'm guessing that you are up on the situation that what we told your other captain about what's going on? And she's going to say, I very much am.
Oh, hey, quick question. Out of character. Have we been holding on to their crew this whole day, or did we like return them or something at some point?
They haven't asked for them back. We tried to hail them to give them back, and they're just kind of sitting there.
Okay, cool.
So, the last contact we've had with them
Awkward.
before this moment
Yeah.
was when the other captain just left.
Yeah. All right.
So you're on the bridge for this because, of course, you are. Same people that were on the bridge before, just for consistency's sake. And she's going to continue. I must say that our meeting has not gone the way I anticipated. Captain says, well, you anticipated this virus crippling our civilization. So I would say absolutely this did not go the way that you anticipated. She will say, that is a fair point. You have been granted an audience with the program in order to discuss the situation and see how we may move forward. Captain's going to turn to you and go, well, that was easy.
Well, setting up the meeting is always the easiest part. Yeah.
This is true.
It's the conversation that we gotta look forward to.
It is. So, Grand Chancellor says, gives the time and the place. You're going to beam down to the location that you're going to beam down to. Is remember, there's the lake in the middle of the main city.
Yeah.
You're beaming to a location that is like a mile below that.
It's hydro-cooled.
Perhaps it is. It's a mile below that, and you're leaving. Like, are you ready to depart now? Captain goes, whoa. You got to give us a little time to prepare to meet the supreme AI in charge of entire civilization. Give us an hour, and we'll be ready. Does that sound good? And the Grand Chancellor nods once, and communication ends.
All right.
Captain goes,
I trust me and my the diplomat have been mapping out a strategy for this meeting during the last month and a day. We knew we were coming back here to request it.
Yes. So, what kind of plan would you have? What plan would you have thought of? All right, let's play out. I'm now Commander Morgan, and you are you. So, what would your plan be for this?
I mean, okay, so there's going to be a standard Starfleet protocol for engaging with potentially hostile contacts in a diplomatic scenario. So we're going to be springboarding off of that. Okay, so this is going to have protocols like, this is the stuff where, like, Starfleet doesn't go into red alert until we're actually in danger. Like, we don't show any hostility. We understand that we're going to this meeting without weapons. Like, here's kind of how we dance around certain topics. That type of thing is all presumably in place. Starfleet will have had that for a while now. So, what we're discussing is things particular to this situation, which is going to be which is going to rely a lot on the actual objective of the AI. So we know with any sort of alien civilization, what we need to look for is point of commonality and point of need. Like, what do they need that we can bring to the table, and what do we have in common that we can discuss, that we can use as foundation to discuss. What they need is resources, and because of our planetary scan, we know what resources they need in order to keep their culture going. So we have a list already of, presumably, here's the resources that they need as a society to keep functioning, and here's where we can source those within the Federation. So we want to highlight that. Our common ground is a bit shakier, but a big part of it is going to be about the Romulans, because they've had encounter with the Romulans. It didn't go great. They did not succeed in taking down the Romulan culture, obviously, which means that the Romulans are whatever Romulans might have escaped presumably are putting Romulus on hostile relationship with Iosia. So the Romulans are presumably a certain level of threat to Iosia. They are also a certain level of threat to the Federation, and this is a partner. This is a grounds of partnership that kind of meets both of our needs and is a common ground to work from. So I would emphasize those things as places to start conversation.
Commander's gonna go. I couldn't have said any of it better myself, Lieutenant Commander.
Cool.
So that's the plan of attack. Out of
checks
character.
out.
What else do you
Sounds like
expect me to do?
Classic boss.
Sounds
Classic
good.
boss.
Yeah.
Good
that.
job.
Do that.
Do that.
I
Put
want
my
I
name
want
on it.
I want Tim's character's boss to take the full credit for the plan.
Yeah.
Too.
This
I
is
like-
gonna, this
completely
is gonna be known
like-
as the Morgan plan.
The guy, you know what? That's what I wanted to mention.
They're
Before.
gonna
The
teach
guy
him.
like
They're gonna
popped
teach
to
him
get out of-
Starfleet.
The guy was like coughing to get out of the conversation. I just feel like he isn't an actual diplomat. He's just really good at pretending he is, and he just keeps having. Sorry, I do it all. Good job. I taught you well. It's like you taught me. Yeah,
Lieutenant
that's right,
Commander, Lieutenant Commander Gilderoy Gold.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah, Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh God.
That's why he keeps stepping out and giving Sarah the chance. He's like, yeah, I'm just,
Yeah,
I gotta use the bathroom real fast. You deal with this, and I'll be back in a minute.
So back in
He
character,
needs to
she's
go to
going
medical
to say,
with that check.
So, dribbling back into character, she's going to say, I definitely want you there with me during these negotiations because, in my experience, the person best at explaining something is the person who thought it up in the first place. So you will be instrumental in making this happen, especially with all your contact with the Iosian captain. I feel like you've got your pulse on all of this, probably even better than I do. So I will be relying heavily on you, Lieutenant Commander.
All right.
Okay.
So at any point would Fish have overheard any of it, or like the conversation with the captain?
Which conversation?
The main conversation about like we have an hour to prepare.
No, but you would have been contacted about it. So all the staff heads and you guys are all going to know the situation.
It takes a while to load.
So the people that are going to be going down to the planet are going to be Tim, obviously. We're going to be sending down Dave on security.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Also, definitely Matt is staying on the ship for communications. Eric is going to be staying. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Eric's going to be on the ship. Let's see.
Do they need a scientist to replicate the operation for scientific mumbo jumbo reasons?
Essentially, can I come? Can I come? Can I come?
Yeah.
Sure, fish
Hey.
goes down.
Fish is very much like at this point. I wonder how I can flowers for Algernon and AI.
Actually, the reason that you went down there is because one thing that the away team is bringing with them is your little doodad.
Yeah.
That
We never named it. We gave it
George.
complicated.
no, we didn't. Okay, time for the first roll of the evening. Actually, this
Yeah,
is
Oh
going
my
to be
God.
for.
I just
This one's gonna
switched
be for-
away from where we could see the rolls on stream. All right.
Sorry.
I gotta make my.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right, I'm gonna switch back, but it takes a second. For some reason, it always takes a second to switch. So hold on. Let me
All
see.
right.
Oh, it. Yeah, it
Do an
there. It just now
interesting
loaded
one.
all of us in. Okay.
Okay, so the captain is going to ask you if you can find a way to disguise this thing in tricorders,
Tricorders.
just so we can take it. Take it down and it not be recognized what it is. So in
A
order to
trico-
see if you can, Was
Are
that?
tricorders still handheld at this point, or are they like
Yes.
satchel size, like old school?
No, they're handheld at this point.
Okay.
They're-
All right.
Yeah. So this is going to be a 3-way roll. And unfortunately, one of these you have no points in. But it's going to be intelligence.
Okay. Okay.
Intelligence, small equipment systems technology, which again you have nothing in. And
Bioengineering?
what was the other one?
Biomechanical.
Yes, bioengineering, because that's basically what this is.
Okay, so 80 plus 99 plus 0
divided by 3.
3.
All right.
Okay, that's greater than 0 chance. Success.
Statistically, yes, it is. What do you need to hit?
Not that. I need to hit 60 or below.
60 or below. Okay, you were not successful in integrating it into the communicator in the time frame that you had.
Would I?
That's
Could I?
for the
Just like we have like, can I just like do that thing where we just rip open the shoe and just kind of fit it in the padding of the shoe?
Well, actually, you have a second chance. That was the tricorder. Let's see if you can fit it in the communicator.
That would be easier.
So you get to make
Potentially.
same roll.
No, the communicator is smaller. It's got to be harder, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, with a negative 15.
Ah.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because it's
Hey, hey,
Eric
you got an
made a
extra
good
roll.
point.
Eric
You got
is
an
the
extra
person I'm
roll.
calling out.
No. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye.
So, can we first off, just for reference sake, we never really established what this thing looks like. So, I've done 2 times where I've described it in completely different
Okay.
contexts, because in both the first context was it meant to be like incredibly biological. The second one was a lot more mechanical, and neither was confirmed or properly denied. So this thing either ranges, which as how it's been used, unrealistic, was supposed to be the size of a baseball, and then was supposed to be the size of a USB, and then nothing was confirmed or denied. So
This just kind of sounds
size-
like Star Trek. Like
yeah.
things
is.
like this happen in
It's
Star
great.
Trek.
We won't see
So
it for
it's-
another season.
we
So,
don't
you
know
know,
if it's
everyone's like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Mechanical, but just happens to target biology.
So this is not a question of size or function. This is a question of the ability to integrate it successfully into this other piece of technology.
I'm just curious, how suspicious does it look otherwise? Like, if we
Yeah.
if
Okay.
we
If he
if
fails,
we
Scale
just bring it
1
with
to
us,
10 suspicion.
how
does it look like?
suspicious is it?
Does it look like we're
Or can we,
carrying
like,
around a
is that a
second
separate-
Is that a
phaser?
separate roll? Is that a separate roll of like how stealthy this is? I don't know.
Because this is
I
more
have
just
no
like,
idea.
Huh.
what does it look like? Because I've been inconsistent and we've never established anything.
That is true. That is true.
So I just wanted,
Yeah,
like,
this
what's like general premises for it.
What's
to
the
work
risk
off
here?
of.
What's
All right, let's consult the props department. All right,
Props
so if you were a TV show trying to make something that looks fancy on a limited budget, what real world thing would you make it out of?
all right?
Probably
So
calculator.
is this like
That's a good question.
Doctor Who BBC limited budget? Is this Star Trek original series limited budget?
Are we
Is
talking,
this-
This
like-
is Star Trek original series. Not sure if it's going to get picked up for a
Is
second
this
season.
pilot?
Oh,
season?
okay.
You know, pilot or which
This
season are
is-
we at?
This is early TNG.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, then
okay,
anything
so-
goes now.
Oof. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Ooh, that's tough. Early TNG. I feel like for this device, they're gonna use. Oh.
He just
He's got it in his in the bucket.
He has
next
it
to him
like
or something like
3
He's got
inches
props.
from himself.
Why wouldn't
that. That's awesome. He's got props. with
Fish?
him. I'm just.
Why wouldn't Fish just put it in his medical satchel?
Hey, that's a good question.
That is another option.
Also,
yes.
everyone like lieutenant and up is going to, or lieutenant commander and up is going to have it. So.
Voice recorder. That's.
Okay. All right. So what we established, if all else fails,
There we go. This is.
Fish will
medical
have
backup.
one with his medical equipment.
Okay.
If
Just
we're not
one.
able to find a way to smuggle the other.
Can we just like? Does anyone have like a skill that's good with like black markety hiding stuff? I mean, I have.
I'm
like, a
sure
black-
this won't cause a Geneva Convention rule broken if he's smuggling something in medical equipment.
Oh, that
If
reminds me.
only
I
I
should
was
open my
allowed to
sheet.
install
Oh,
it in people, then it would be so easy.
He's gonna install it in somebody.
Wouldn't
Nice.
smuggling count as carousing?
Ooh, no, it would kind of streetwise, because you're.
Mark and Sark, how well are you familiar with prison pockets?
You're not.
Whoa.
All
Either
you
way
need-
you answer that, it's like I don't know. That's not gonna
Get
help.
away from me.
You don't need to sit funny and turn the thing on. So let's not do that.
All I'm saying is it's for the greater good of the Federation.
I can see him. He's gonna lean over and be like, "You need to switch it on." I'd be like, "No,
Don't
I'm
worry.
not doing it, dude."
Puts on glove. I'm a doctor.
Oh God. I mean, you are, but oh God.
What was the question?
Who has carousing?
Carousing.
Sark.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
hard.
streetwise.
I have streetwise.
Streetwise. I do not have streetwise.
I have streetwise.
But
All
you're
right,
on
who's
the
our
ship.
street?
How
Who's our
much?
wisest
How much?
streetwise?
On a scale of 1 to 100, how much streetwise? Do you
I have 30.
31.
Oh.
Ooh, a narrow beat.
Yeah.
Oh no! It looks like he'll have to be the prison pocket guy.
He's just
That's-
slightly better at it than you are. Just
he
slightly.
went. He went full. The Price is Right on you. It was.
Oh God. Okay. Well, that unfortunately is only going to, considering Fish is the one taking it with his medical equipment. That's just going to be seeing if he can get it into his medical equipment in the first place,
Mhm.
and them not detect it. But they may not even check that. You don't know yet.
I mean, seriously, if we have someone like swallow it, I'm just saying, if this is like a life or death situation with like a very
So
very
what are you going to
useful
want them
tool-
to do? Throw up on command? Like, hang on a second.
I
Really?
mean, I'm
We
just
have-
saying,
we have
triggering a
medication
gag
for that.
reflex is not
Yeah.
that hard. We just need to test a couple people, see who has the quickest vomit reflex, and we go by that.
I want a
Come on.
reassignment, man. I don't know. That was not in the job description. To, like,
Oh, you're on the ship, so
swallowing
you're
foreign
fine.
objects. That's true.
You're fine.
That's why
I mean-
I started hearing about this. I'm like, I'm gonna cover your ship, dude.
Surgical implantment.
No, it's easy. I'll just see who has a previous case of anorexia with the medical files.
Oof.
Oh wow! Wow! I don't think
It's
we
for
can say
it's for the
that.
greater good, guys. For the greater good.
Counter offer.
Okay.
Counteroffer.
Believe me, by the way,
Have
not
fish
anorexia.
Yeah,
surgically
that's true.
implant it into one of the away team.
That is a
That
good
sounds-
suggestion.
That
I'm
sounds
up for
sketchy. I mean,
That also
come-
sounds like if they scan us, they're not gonna immediately be like, "Hey, why do you have something?"
Pacemaker.
Start asking questions. Because we can
You
assume that
have it
they will
implanted
scan.
just under the communicator.
We can assume that they will scan us. So, I mean, we're about to go meet what's literally the closest thing they have to a god, almost. Just like their supreme leader. The Grand Chancellor is nothing compared to this thing.
I'm glad we're up on the up and up the entire time too.
Hey,
Like,
there's a
not
religious
smuggling
aspect to
anything.
this.
Well, no, there's not, but you're getting it's
Not yet.
Yeah. Not until we Borgify them.
mm. Or I Borgify them by accident as I keep painting myself into a plot corner. So it's sounding like the only one that's really able to take anything down reliably is going to be Fish.
Yeah, sounds that way.
All right, so you're going to be able to get one of them. Now, all the rest of the lieutenant commanders who are on the ship still have them. So if stuff goes sideways, they may be ready to do something.
So what I'm hearing is incredibly broken plot device is being restricted. Fair.
Well, by its own doing, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
so outlandish.
That is
Honestly,
true.
this isn't me restricting it for game purposes. It's me
Yeah.
restricting it to logical purposes.
Yeah,
no,
this is plot.
I'm just
This is
saying, like,
plot.
this is the most sensible method,
Yes.
like by just sheer happenstance.
Mhm. All right. So now the other side of it. All right, Harkin Sark. You will be part of this next conversation. Dave.
Or
Dave.
not.
I'm here.
Oh hi. Okay.
It's like you're gonna be a part of this conversation. Okay.
I was
so,
waiting. I saw you muted. I was waiting for signs of life.
Well, I can mute until I need to speak.
Okay. So there's going to be a meeting now between you and the captain and Commander Ferguson about security contingencies for if
His name
this
is
goes,
Roscoe Ferguson.
if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This was established during Extra Life.
Yeah, I just didn't catch it at the time. Apparently.
Remember Roscoe?
Yeah, you remember.
Yes,
Roscoe.
Roscoe Ferguson, born and raised in Brooklyn.
It
Yeah, he was
was
always referred to
also
Roscoe
established.
Ferguson.
It was established in our training crews.
Yes.
Now, to be
We
fair,
didn't give
fair,
a last name then, but yeah.
to be fair, I'm not great at
Yes.
names, like in real life. So.
Are diplomats
fair.
not good with names?
I mean, the
Oh,
diplomat, the character is.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But the
player
character is
Ugh.
the character is only as good as the player.
Yeah,
Just
well,
call everybody
in
Haas.
this
You're
case-
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just do what I do in real life
Bro.
and
Bro.
call people stuff.
I do the
So
same
that
thing.
begs the question: how many times have you forgotten our names?
Oh, every single one of you. I didn't. I can promise. Okay, I can promise that this is not personal. That every single person I have ever known, I did not know their name for at least a month.
That's
Oh
fine.
yeah, no. I was saying.
I'm the same way.
I
At
feel the
least.
same. Yeah, I don't feel
And
like
then
I'm that
it
far
gets
off
it becomes awkward after you've seen someone for the 10th time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have to be like, "What's your name again?"
Yeah.
that. Or when they know your name and you still don't know their name, you're like, oh
I was-
yeah,
yeah.
like,
I was
To
definitely
be
in a.
honest,
I was definitely in a
you,
class
man.
with Matt when we
You.
did that guitar class, Matt. Yeah, I believe the first time I came home from that class, and Carol was like, I was like, oh yeah, there's only one other person in that class, and she was like, who was it? I was like, I don't know, the kid with all the hair, and like, I had definitely known you for at least a semester at that point.
If I remember correctly, we had Thanksgiving together prior to that.
Yeah.
Which means nothing.
oh, I'm loving this origin story. By the way, this is a great origin story. It's the price of admission today, right there. Keep going.
All
All right, so
yeah.
tripling back onto the
Big old dribble.
tripling back to the. All right, so it's going to be a meeting between the captain, Commander Ferguson, and Harkin Sark about contingencies for this whole situation. Now, this meeting is happening relatively quickly because it wasn't until now we knew that the place that you're being sent to is a mile underground. So this is going to be a crash course planned meeting on, okay, so what do we do if things go terribly badly?
Oh, I feel Star Trek 6 coming on right now.
Which part of it?
Yeah, when
That
Kirk
makes-
and McCoy are stuck in that mining camp at the bottom of whatever, they have to break their way out.
Oh, man. All right, so the captain's going to start by saying, all right, gentlemen, as I see it, the most likely scenarios for if things go badly are going to be that literally everything up here turns hostile, in which case you're going to get the kill switch to kill all the drones, and hopefully the four of us will be able to fend off the Iosians. We'll see how that goes. That's why we're relying heavily on the diplomats so this doesn't happen. But What we're focused on here is what we're going to do on the ground and with the ship to try to get us out of there. So, ideas.
Shoot things.
That sounds like part of a plan, but not a full plan.
That sounds like what you do when plans go wrong.
Well,
we're gonna call
this-
that Plan B. Well, to be
Plan
fair,
A is
they are
A is
talking about
diplomacy.
what happens when Plan B comes up.
yes. So that sounds like Plan B-1.
I can't wait to, in a future episode, to yell, Plan Bravo, Plan Bravo.
And that's when we just start shooting things.
Oh boy.
Remember, we walk calmly because walking doesn't use all of our action points.
Oh god. Okay.
Do I still have that?
Let's.
No, that's not the one.
So Ferguson's going to say, "All right, so yeah, shooting things will be part of the process if we have to get our way out, but all right, so the big problem is the fact that this is a facility located 1 mile below the ground, and up until they sent us the coordinates, we had no idea it was down there, so it's pretty likely it's got some kind of shielding. So if things go sideways, they're going to put the shields up, and we're going to be stuck. So this sounds like it's more of a problem for the people that are going to have to try to get the shielding down. Captain's going to say, that checks out. That makes a lot of sense there, Commander. All right. I'm not sure there's a whole lot we can plan on this. We're just have to play it by ear when we get down there. I'll have a talk with the science people and get them working on that to see if they can figure it out. Because I know we have at least 1 or 2 people that are good with shields, so we'll see what they can do.
Oh yeah.
We'll wing it.
Nice.
That's
Shield
Star Trek for you.
team.
Shield Team 6?
Shield team
Nice.
coming in hot.
All right. So, that meeting, unless anything else to add, Dave?
If worse comes to worse, we can modify a phaser to create an EMP.
I mean, that's worked a few times. I've read a few logs. Honestly, down there, the thing that we're going to rely on most. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Is we're going to have Fish with his doodad that'll hopefully knock everyone out. But we'll see what happens from there. But okay, fingers crossed that's not what happens. So, all right, I'm going to go talk to the science guys. All right, so he's going to go call a meeting with both Calvo and Hiro, because Calvo is science, and Hiro is known to have a thing with shields, and also with
Thing.
Commander Sess. So all 4 of you are going to be together, and he's going to say, all right, so it looks like there is some kind of shielding that we did not even detect beforehand, protecting whatever is down there we're transporting to. We figured out quite a bit of their technology from the Iosian ship. So, if things go sideways, you're going to have to work to see if you can disable that shield in order to beam us out of there. Got it?
Got it.
Got it. Easy.
And Sess will go, yes, sir, we will make it happen. All right. Let's see. And as for your briefing, Matt, on the bridge, he's going to say, I just need you to keep monitoring communications between the other ships. Keep in contact with us as long as possible, but if things go sideways, it'll be your job to try to punch through any kind of shielding they put up for communication purposes. Understood?
Understood.
All right. Well, let's do this. So, at the appointed time, so it's going to be the captain, Commander Morgan, Tim, Fish, and Harkin are going to beam down to the location that you have been told to go to. And that location is going to look a little something like this.
Oh my God, we get a map.
Oh,
Oh, holy moly.
Ah,
Oh wow, this is beautiful.
shit got real.
What is that number in the bottom?
All right.
073 lines. Is this Halo?
What?
Ooh.
Is this Halo?
No, no, no.
It's
Is
a
this
Halo
Halo?
map. It's a Halo.
It
map.
is?
I don't know. I just whatever those numbers in the middle, I feel vaguely familiar.
Nah.
I feel like a lot of sci-fi uses letters that kind of look like that, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
My best guess.
But
All right.
that last thing, that like brackets with
That
the light.
does look.
Looks
It
a
looks
little
Star
bit.
Warsy. I was gonna say
Kind of
Star
remember it's like an
It does look
ODST
No,
for some
not-
reason.
This
Well,
looks like
That's
but
Iosian
Halo.
script. That's
Okay.
Iosian
Oh.
script. So we're just gonna go with that because what
Okay.
else would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Jumpsuits.
Iosian. Yeah. So what else would it be? So transport down, and you show up in the room. I've put tokens out. I'll put them out if it becomes necessary.
Okay.
But you all are going to arrive actually right on where that lettering is, and
Hey.
cool.
standing
beans.
there is going to be the Grand Chancellor, and so Harkin will recognize. You know those like really really tough looking guards that you saw like back at the was their headquarters, whatever it was. Yeah, there's going to be 4 of those like next to her. And when you appear, what?
I said, ooh, they're elite guard.
Yes. The Grand Chancellor is going to say, "Welcome to Program Central. I hope you do not mind. We are going to have to take any weapons that you have in order to protect the program."
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Captain is going to say, "We can agree to those terms so long as your soldiers there also lay your weapons aside. Is that fair?" Before the Grand Chancellor can say anything, the wall behind her is going to light up and say, "Your terms are agreeable. Do as they ask." So, you hand them all your weapons, they set their weapons aside, and the Grand Chancellor is going to step back and say, "Allow me to introduce to you the program." Captain Sherman says, "Program, it's a pleasure to meet you." Program says, "The pleasure is all mine, Captain. Now, as I understand it, we have a number of things to discuss. Would you like to begin?" Captain says, "I absolutely would."
I would like
I'm gonna
to
turn.
ask.
Yes.
For the sake of communication and also our logs on this, is there something we should call you other than program?
The program has been my title for 305 years, and it shall remain so. You may address me as such.
All right.
I think we should call him Graham.
I was just thinking P, you know?
Siri.
Nice.
Hey, you're not there!
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
This is everyone on the ship listening to the open comms right now. They're all like commenting on it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Siri. All right. Yeah.
Can't forget Cortana.
Computer. All right.
Cortana. That's a good one.
Ah, yes.
Kit.
Alright, so program is Captain and crew of the Lexington, representatives of the Federation. May we begin the discussions?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Captain says, well, I will turn this over to my chief diplomat and her attaché. And turn it over. Commander goes, it is a pleasure to meet you. Program? Yeah, that's how I should say it. It's a pleasure to meet you, program. So, if you've been updated on the situation, you'll know that a number of interesting things have happened over the last few months. We made first contact with your representatives, brought them, so we thought, into the Federation, but then it turns out that it was all part of a ruse to cripple our civilization and take all of our resources. So that's kind of an odd way to start a relationship. So we're here to see if we can fix this, because we want what's best for your people. We at the Federation can help provide all the resources that you've been having to scavenge in order to get, and you don't have to do that anymore. So, Rab, have anything you'd like to add to the discussion?
Yes. So we've taken the liberty of doing an analysis of the resources that it appears that your civilization is using. Obviously, this list is open to correction if there's anything else that you don't have. But we've also listed where we have access to these resources within the Federation to demonstrate that we do have access to them and that they are freely available to member states within the Federation, and to give you a rough idea on how quickly we can provide them. Is there like an entry, like a data entry point, or should I just like hold a list up?
There is a terminal located 13 meters to your left.
All right. So I'm going to go over to the terminal.
Interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, scan whatever it has me do to
You
input
interface it,
information.
it's fine.
Yeah.
If
So,
we had known,
cool.
we could have just uploaded the virus to kill him right now.
Hey, I mean, I'm pretty sure Fish is eyeing that. Like, that'd be a good place to plug this bad boy in.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm going to interface and provide that resource docket, and say, you know, as I'm sure you can process this pretty quickly. As you can see, this is, we believe, a good start to presenting the source of resources we can provide to Iosia. Is there anything standing out to you that we've neglected?
It would appear to me that this list is exhaustive of the needs for the Iosian people.
Now, as we understand, your original function as the program was to ensure the survival of the Iosian people, but through the acquisition of resources. Is that correct?
You are correct.
It appears to us, then, that enabling this contact with the Federation, as you've already done, and following through with ensuring that the relationship with the Federation will provide these resources indefinitely, is in line with the programming that you began with. Has that programming been updated? Do you have additional objectives now that we need to be discussing?
My basic programming has not changed in the 305 years, 16 days, 12 hours, and 4 minutes and 5 seconds since my inception. The amount of information that I have gathered has, of course, increased, but my basic function has not changed in this entire time. I exist in order to guide the Iosian people to survive and thrive. for 305 years. So far, I have been successful, until we have met you.
Now, as I've mentioned, the definition of success is that the Iosian people receive the resources they need, is it not?
You are correct.
So you have not as yet failed in encountering us. We are simply providing a different way to reach success than the piracy that has been carried out so far.
Your statement makes logical sense.
So, this is kind of the opening gift. This is what we assume would be the matter of most interest to you in terms of a relationship with the Iosian people. Are there other factors that we need to discuss, such as the relationship with the Romulans or any other societies around you?
Program is going to... You're going to see like some lines moving on the... It's basically a screen wall. The whole time it's been moving, like a waveform. As it has talked, you've seen a waveform going on the wall. That thing is just kind of fluctuates slightly. The program will come back and say, the only civilization that we have contacted and not successfully scavenged has been the Romulans. We are unsure of their current situation in relation to us, of their hostility, or their intentions. One thing that we would like, if we are to pursue this agreement with the Federation, is protection from them.
We do have a standing treaty with the Romulan Empire. As part of the Federation, you would be protected under the terms of that treaty. It does include a impartial zone. We can send along the full data from that. I'm going to kind of look over towards Morgan while I'm saying that. We can send along the full data of that treaty so that you can peruse it. As I said, if you became part of the Federation, you would be protected under the Federation's provisions within that treaty.
At that moment, Matt, you're going to get a request from Commander Morgan to gather all pertinent information on the treaty between the Romulans and the Federation. So that's not hard to do, so you're just going to do that.
Of course, we have had history with them. We have thus far largely avoided war. There have not been... Because at this point, there hasn't been, out of character, there hasn't been open hostilities between the Federation and Romulans yet, right?
Not for about 150 years.
Right.
There was the Earth-Romulan War, it was in the 2160s or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have avoided open hostilities with the Romulans for the last 150 years under the terms of this document.
I mean, we're admitting the fact that we completely avoided, or they've been avoiding us, but it's still, the document still works.
Yeah.
Diplomacy still works.
All right. So the program is going to say, I understand the parameters. Now, if you have to summarize your request for me in one phrase or one sentence, what would it be?
We seek to welcome the Iosian people into the Federation with an understanding that there will be shared resources both ways in terms of the computer information that the Iosians provide and the resources that the Federation provides, as well as safe travel within this portion of space. There is a matter to discuss concerning the balance of culture and free individual enterprise that the Federation values and would seek to discuss.
That was two sentences.
Well, it was
Yeah,
one phrase.
It was fine. It was fine.
And we're glad Dave's not the computer.
even
You must die.
Self-determination. That's what it was. Yeah. So
even an almost a borderline omniscient AI is not that pedantic. So the AI is going to say, or the program is going to say, are you referring to the fact that a copy of me is uploaded into the second brain of every Iosian person at birth? Correct?
yes, we are. Now, as I said, as the Federation has, I'm sure you've seen from the documentation we provided in our last visit, the Federation does value the cultural curiosities of various individual races. And so the degree to which the Iosians as a culture rely on you is, of course, something that we will respect. We do have a high value of self-determination, however, which means that we would seek a resolution that allows the Iosian people to make that choice of their will. So, out of character, trying to make it very clear, we're not trying to turn you off.
Yes, that is. I see exactly how you're stepping it, and I like it. So I need to look at something. Okay. All right. So Tim, summarize. So out of character, what exactly are you asking from it at this point?
At this point, I'm asking it to consider entrance into the Federation with the understanding that doing so will cause a conversation in which we determine the proper balance between cultural commitment to the program and the rule of self-determination.
All right. I need a negotiation diplomacy roll. So it's actually just a straight 75 because it's
Yep.
the average of that and your charisma.
All right, this is for it. Here we go.
Yeah, completely out of
Don't
character.
whiff.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yay!
that's pretty good.
All right.
That's
all
pretty
right.
good.
That
is
is
a
pretty
passing
damn
grade.
good. All right.
Hey,
Back
Pete.
in. Let's go to say. Okay. The program will say, if I am understanding you correctly, the fact that there is a copy of me uploaded into every Iosian citizen, that fact is a possible hindrance to the incorporation of the Iosians into the Federation, correct?
The existence of those copies, no. The process by which those copies are added without consent of the individual is the issue at hand.
So that little wavy line is going to continue for a moment. I'm going to say, as I understand the situation, it would appear that your Federation can provide better for the Iosian people than I can. Therefore, I am no longer necessary. Goodbye. The entire room goes black.
He just pulled
You hear...
an enclave from Fallout 3.
Get out of my head. Emergency lights come on. You're going to see all of the Iosians just suddenly grab their head and start screaming and drop to the ground.
I'm gonna look at Fish, be like, I believe
Out of
I've entered your
character.
territory.
Very simple operation. In character. Maybe it's kind of, I guess I should probably check out what's going on with the Iosians.
All right. So
Yeah, I'm definitely like looking at Fish, being like, get over
All right. So
This is your department.
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
all right. So up on the ship. First of all, Matt, you're listening to communications. Suddenly, your ears the loudest static you've ever heard is just going to blare through your ears. The science console, the person monitoring the scanner, is going to say that a massive energy burst just emanated from that location on the planet. Just that covered like the entire planet. Just it was going for like ever. Just enormous. So that happened. One other thing, though, the energy shield has put itself back up. So, back down there, Fish, so what are you exactly going to do there, Fish?
I guess step one would be to take a quick analysis of, like, if it's basically just do a quick biology check on them to see if they're either dying or if they're just flipping out. And depending on what happens, I'm either going to plug in the thing and just paralyze them so we can deal with it later, or, you know, something else.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to communicate with the ship, by the way.
Okay, and you will fail at doing so.
Right. Okay.
My character would announce to the bridge crew that that their shields have gone up. I feel like that would be standard procedure.
Yeah, so Commander Seth is going to go, well, boys, time to spring into action. So you're not going to do it just yet, but in a moment you will be doing the rolls to see if you can penetrate the shielding, but we'll get to that. So back down on the planet. So Fish, first thing you do is you're going to scan them. They're alive. They're just like writhing in pain.
So it's the brain thing.
What exactly are you going to scan?
I probably first start scanning with their brain, since the whole having connected to the AI in a vague way, and then that probably got fried.
You're going to find that their program brain is completely dead. The only brain left is functioning is the normal one.
Oh, they're just feeling. That's fine.
No, actually what's happening is that brain is... I'm not sure how to explain the science mumbo-jumbo, but basically it's like a mental necrophy, if that's the right term.
So it's like
the
it's
dead
a
brain.
They're going to shock.
Yes.
They're going to shock because half their brain is shut off.
Basically, it's what would have happened had you screwed up the process of cutting out one of their brains before. Because the way you did it, you removed what's now effectively dead tissue. But in this case, it's like an entire dead brain is now up there that is just causing massive neural, all kinds of issues.
Well, I think I can fix this, ironically, with the same thing that disables them. Because it works as a feedback loop that kind of forces their brain to function a certain way. So, if this is about the brain fritzing out really hard, I have the boot up sequence.
And we don't have any of the scientists with it. Do we have any of the scientists with us?
Which scientists?
Like, literally anyone. From our
No, we're back on the ship.
They're all back on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, Fish.
This is a diplomatic mission.
Yeah.
Fish is
We brought Fish because it's
Which
standard
was
to bring a
successful,
medical guy.
by the way.
It was very, very spectacularly so.
He was so successful they killed himself. Like, that was the best diplomatic speech ever.
Well, then again, I don't know. Would it be considered successful if you literally make it kill itself?
No. It's
Actually,
I have now completed my. You've completed my life.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we
You
could just
did
turn
so-
it back on.
Well, if we turn it back on, we're going to have to do it with slightly different programming. But anyway.
All right.
That's what I was going to try to call the. That's what I was trying to call the ship about, though. Was I was going to try to reach out to the two people that we have, who are Iosians, who already are disconnected. Presumably, they weren't affected by that burst, and hopefully, they would have some training on computers that they could come down here and help us. But if I can't communicate with the ship, then I can't request their help.
Speaking of which, hey, shield people, it's time to go.
All right.
All right. Let's see. So who has deflector shield technology? That would be Eric has better in that, I think. Chris,
I have 53.
Yeah, Chris has a 10.
I got a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what this is going to be is
I got
another
this
one of those where you're both going to roll it, and if Chris succeeds, it gives you a bonus of 15.
Okay. So I'm just rolling a D100. Got it.
All right. But there's going.
Ah.
Well. All right.
Where-
So
where is this at?
Wait,
What
what?
skill is this?
Deflector
shield tech.
technology.
Okay.
All right. So the first question, though, is how you're going to try to disable the thing, because you can't like fire a phaser at it because it's a shield that is way underground. So it's time for some Star Trek technical bullshit. All right, guys,
Okay.
how do you want to try to do this?
I want to reverse the polarity on the tachyon.
Yeah.
Shoot it with a phaser.
I mean, come on, plus 15 to my roll right there. That is complete.
Sess is going to say, well, that would be great, except we would completely ionize the atmosphere. So let's try again.
But more tachyons is always the solution. Glue, what do you got?
We'll try to disable the power source.
I like
Ooh,
it.
good call.
All right. All
With
right.
tachyons.
So,
With tachyons.
Tachyons.
We know that, like, every single sci-fi show, if you shoot the console, it turns it off.
I mean, yeah, but where's the console?
Yeah, we're from the ship. That's like a that's
Yeah.
a
We're flying
laser.
That
blind.
could be any of these boxes.
Just take a pod shot. You'll hit something.
Shoot them all.
Pick a number
That's-
from
that's
1 to
Operation
16,
Bravo.
apparently.
Slam Bravo. Slam Bravo.
If it's life or death, we just give it to Fish, and then he'll get the right one.
Step one.
All
Step
right.
one. Wait till it's life or death. Step two.
Well,
The
you're
good
going
thing is no one
to,
technically knows the fish can do that, so it would be a natural occurring option.
We'll figure it out by the end of the season and be like, damn, that guy is lucky.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what you're going to find. The power supply itself is within the shield. However, there are conduits that connect to the main power supply for the rest of the city. Which, by the way, the only thing functioning right now... Actually, no, not the only thing functioning. A lot of things of the planet have stopped working. Understandably so.
Have they diverted all the power to their shields?
What it looks like from the scans is that the command for the shield is coming from within the shield itself as some kind of failsafe. That's not being controlled from anywhere else.
Like the shield generator or the shield, like the energy shield itself?
The bubble.
The whole thing. The whole thing is self-contained inside where the program is, or now was. But it is connected to the rest of the power grid.
Okay.
So,
Can I?
So guys, we need a really large butter knife.
stick it in the outlet.
We're not MacGyver.
Glue, you're MacGyver. MacGyver this shit.
I
Yeah,
said
the
a
rubber
butter
band
knife,
and a
not
paperclip.
a paper clip.
Rubber band and a paperclip.
What about a Swiss Army knife?
This
That
is the
is
part
so
of
good.
the Star Trek episode where he goes, no, that's the perfect idea. And then he explains to Mumbo Jumbo how we're going to take a shuttlecraft and use it as a butter knife.
That's the name of the shuttlecraft, butter knife.
Can we use the shuttlecraft as a butter knife?
So we're inside that
The
barrier
shuttlecraft
shield,
is
right?
Lando Lakes.
Yes, you're inside inside the shield, the only things that are on are like emergency lighting. That's it.
So basically, we're cut off from the outside power.
None of the
systems.
terminals are on.
Nope.
Okay. I would like. Well, I mean, I know that we can't communicate now because I tried to communicate.
Mhm.
Am I the only person here with engineering training?
I think you might be.
Okay.
Let's see. What's Coinless have?
I've gotten
Computer
some computer
stuff.
technology, computer operations,
Everyone has computer operations, but
mechanical engineering. I got a 12.
okay.
Did the security folks? Did we pick up our phasers again?
You can if you want
Oh
to.
yeah.
I want my phaser.
Yes.
Okay,
That would be
I want-
advisable.
I want to search around this whole area for anything else that's on or it seems to have power running through it.
Okay, I would recommend using a tricorder for that to
Okay.
detect energy signatures. And you are going to detect an energy signature, a quite large one. Looking back at the map, I would say about half a kilometer. Let's see. About half a kilometer north of where you are, and about 50 meters down.
All right. I'm going to tell the captain I'm picking up a large energy signature at this location. I think that I suspect that whatever is preventing was preventing our scans in the first place and is now preventing communications is going to be there.
Captain said, "That sounds like a plan to me." All right. Lieutenant Commander Soong, how are the patients doing? I noticed they're still screaming.
They're dying slowly, but they got some time.
That's not comforting. Can you do something for them?
Well, I can
Make
cut their
them
brains
be
in half,
not
or
dying.
well, I mean, if we can find a
Can you
stable
put them?
source of
Can you like put them out or something? Like, can you at least like sedate them, please, for their own sake?
well,
And my
Just use
ears
the
sake.
doodad on them.
if we have two options. A, I can plug this thing into a proper power source and it'll numb them, or B, I can cut their brains in half.
I don't think that's an option in a non-sterile environment. I don't see an operating bed here. So,
Well, a
I can
computer
make a phaser into a laser scalpel.
a computer of this size, in order to run this efficiently for 300 years, has to have a clean room somewhere that a lot of its processing is happening in.
that's news to me, says both the captain and me.
Well, because you can't get, like, when they make these tiny microprocessors, they do it in a clean room because you can't get anything in them.
Right.
So presumably, if you have this thing running for 300 years, unattended, underground, it has to have a place that all of that processing continues to be removed from any possibility of getting stuff in it, which means it has to be a sterile environment.
This
So you
is
said
Star
there's,
Trek
like-
science.
You
That's
said there's
not
like
true.
the emergency lights.
Well, I mean, well, is that not how it's made, though?
As I guess so. What I will say in
I mean, yeah, I'm
Where is-
asking out of character, though. Is that not how? Because they do make the processors in clean rooms, right?
do not know, but just for the sake of simplicity, they're not like dying slow. They're just in a lot of pain.
Right.
It's not like they're about to keel over. So they can be sedated right now and left, and they'll be fine.
So, to answer your question, Tim, when they create the chips, those are created in a clean room, and they're also created in a vibration dampened environment.
Mm-hmm. But like, my point is,
But
In
I
order
don't
to-
think
in order to
That the-
sustain operation for this long without having somebody constantly changing bits out, like would
but
it
they
not?
do have transporter technology and they have replicator technology, so
true.
technically they wouldn't really need a clean room.
That's true. All right.
So, like, a clean room, if they had it, it's probably gone to the wayside and isn't maintained. Because you do have to maintain a clean room, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I make a biotechnology
But the
robot
point-
just to knock them out with like a open wire?
Well, okay, if you want to try it that way, sure.
I
The
mean-
captain's gonna go.
So I wouldn't
Uh,
have suggested that then if that's something my character knows wouldn't have been true.
That wouldn't be.
Okay.
That's not necessary at this point. So, the captain's gonna see you do that and say, just give them a sedative. That
Oh, you think I
just-
carry
just-
those? I do, but
I was gonna say he probably left the sedative so that he could actually pack his doodad.
Yeah.
what do you think?
It is-
What do
it
you
is
think?
that
The doodad pulls that. No, not really.
What about me as a person made you think I carry sedatives?
the fact that you're in the kit.
Okay, I did bring them, but I mean, honestly, when you work with brain surgery, it doesn't really. You're not really supposed to do it, so I didn't see a need to use it on them when it's a brain issue.
Well, we'll deal with the brain surgery later, Lieutenant Commander. Let's just knock them out, and we'll circle back to them once we've got out of here.
Arkin
here-
holds up his phaser, sets it to stun. I can help out.
Here's hoping they don't have an allergic reaction to human medication.
Wait. So you're not using that device, right?
I haven't plugged it in, but if I plug, like, which I've stated before, if I plug it in, it'll fix the problem.
And create a
Okay.
new problem.
Can we bring it
Can
with
we use a
us?
phaser as a power source or a tricorder as a power source?
You
I
can
mean,
try.
the emergency power is still active. As long as there is a power source to plug it into, and they're close enough to proximity, it will sedate them.
Right.
I mean,
Right,
we have
but-
we have communicators that don't work that we can use as power sources.
Fish, give me a biotechnology roll.
Okay, so just I do it. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is just see if
It
you
works.
you realize something. Yeah,
I
no, this is
passed.
to see if you know something before you even try.
Yep.
So you'll realize that the way that your thing works is through disabling basically the program brain. That brain no longer functions, therefore your thing no longer does anything. So
So it isn't a biofeedback loop.
there's nothing to feed back now.
Okay, so it's completely
Because
dead.
Yes, it would have knocked it. Basically, the way that thing worked was knocking out the program half of the brain was what it focused on, if I recall correctly. But now that thing is just dead weight, so
Okay.
there's nothing for it to knock them out with. Their
Got it.
brains are effectively the same as ours.
I thought it was okay. That was my misinterpretation of what the thing was, because it was described as like a sort of corruption / necrosis. I didn't assume it was like completely dead. I thought it was just like gradually destabilizing, and I could sort of use it as to reboot the brain, since it's like going into a chaotic state.
Okay, so then you're gonna try to reboot. It's not like it's rotted. It's just like off. Like there's no
Yeah,
signal
so
in it whatsoever.
If it, like the whole biofeedback loop is, it forces the brain to function in a very specific way, and so I was thinking,
Okay.
if the brain is in a very chaotic turning off situation, if I use the device, it would sort of forcibly reactivate the brain in a certain pattern, if you know what I mean.
And what pattern would that be?
Well, I mean, if most of the brain's dead, I just was assuming it would sort of just like reset it, kind of like when your
Okay,
computer
well,
gets completely reset, clean slate, since it's already like the programming
Alright.
is gone from the brain, but the brain is still there. So if I activate this device, I assumed I could maybe just and using the sort of vague programming that it uses on the brain, turn on the brain, activating it, but the programming wouldn't be there, so it effectively let me skip the whole lobotomizing the entire society and just be like, hey, this was a convenient plot line. They don't have to be lobotomized. They're just free of their programming now.
So these are
You know
along the
what?
lines of why I was asking him if I could bring the device with us.
All right. Okay, then I will absolutely allow this to be done. Let's try it. All right. Let's see. The roll. This is going to need to be obviously biotechnology and intelligence, so that's going to make it stupidly easy. Let's see.
All I have
Now,
to do
the
is
fact
turn
that this is. Hello. Hi. Sorry. Okay, Skippy. Because this is being done in a way that's not entirely how it was originally designed. It was designed for that half of the brain to be functioning, and now it isn't. There's going to be a negative 15 on this roll.
Okay, so
Because
that
the circumstances are a little trickier.
that is a 75. Yes!
Hey!
Hey!
Okay.
No one doubt the doctor!
That was for formality almost, but all right. So what happens is
Hey guys, this is
All
a
right,
good
so
thing. Now I can just turn their brains on and completely free them. Man, I'm a genius.
so what happens is now think with me, they worked this way always. Before the program existed, obviously they had two brains, and what was in the other one? So what happens is on your little scan, you'll find out that literally what's on one brain just duplicates itself onto the other.
Copy paste. I love it.
So it copy pasted itself and restored to a previous point or something like that. And so you're going to have 5 very, very confused people sitting there, and the captain's going to say, "All right, great, they're not dying. Let's go."
I guess I just unplug it now and just take it with me.
I'm gonna look at the Iosians. Are any of you trained in actually working with the electronic systems here?
They're going to kind of stare at you blankly for a moment and go, "Trained in what?
Cool.
Where
All
am
right.
I? Who? What?
Oh, yeah.
What?"
Programming.
So the response is apparently no.
Okay. Well, this sounds like a problem for my diplomatic superior officer, but I have to wear an
Sounds like
engineering
we
hat
need to
right
shoot
now.
things.
So the commander's going to go, "Okay, I'll babysit. You guys have fun. Grand Chancellor, hi.
Dr. Singh, we need that device, please.
Yeah, no worries. I just just casually walk with you.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is the captain's going to, all right, let's figure our way through here. So you're going to go off. You're going to find a passage corridor or go whatever. Every time you come to one of the Iosians that's on the ground screaming, you're going to repeat the procedure.
Okay.
And it's going to work for everyone. So you're going to leave, you're going to find a trail of screaming Iosians and leave behind a trail of very, very confused Iosians, which is
Who will be
objective.
directed back towards the other room.
If
That
they
makes sense.
know how
That's
to
our normal
walk.
call sign.
In the half a kilometer that's going to take us to walk there, do you want to focus on what the people on the
Yes.
bridge are doing?
Let's do that. All right. So we were batting around ideas. So the last thing we figured out is that all of the power grid is connected together. Is there anything? Can you think of any ways to exploit that? Because I don't want to spoon feed you an answer.
Can we do some kind of like pulse to like overload the power grid and basically cut power?
That's exactly what I was thinking, and I'm
From
glad
the
you thought
emitters.
of it.
The answer is always the deflector dish.
If you can't use the deflector dish, you don't belong in Starfleet.
Exactly.
If you can't
Those
use it in
issues.
ways that would make Gene Roddenberry cry, it doesn't count.
Listen.
I
If
feel like that's
anybody,
a Starfleet lecture.
if anybody
of, like,
enjoyed
use
any of
the
this, it was
deflector
Gene
dish.
Roddenberry.
This is true.
Right.
All right. So Sess is going to say, "Glue, I love that idea. Let's stick to it." Kind of wink at you. Say, all right. So let's find a place that we can plug this baby into and just light it on fire. Actually, not. Let's not literally light it on fire. Metaphorically speaking, please. Let's not light anything on fire, especially not my ship. Please, not my ship. Okay. So you are going to find the actual, basically power plant. The main. It's. You don't really need that big of a power source, but it's like. It's a matter antimatter reactor that they have. There's actually 8 of them equidistant around the exterior of the city.
Are you going to launch the planet's warp core? Eject.
That'll make someone really excited.
Just don't hit any of those unstable crystals. That'd be fun.
But no. What's actually going to happen is, let's see. Now, we figured out how to shut down their warp core system. Based on that, however, you also know enough of how to overload the system in a way that's not going to blow it up, but it's going to send way too much energy through it. So Sess is going to transport the team down to one of those power stations that is closest to the. Actually, they're about the same distance, but the one that seems to have the best connection to there. And I'm going to say, all right, gentlemen. So our goal today is to overload a power grid.
Safely.
This won't go
Safely overload the
safely.
power
Yeah,
grid.
but I hope this won't go terribly bad.
The
So
planetary shield didn't go up.
no, it didn't actually. The only thing that went up was the shield around the program. Seems to have been a localized thing. So okay. So this is going to be. All right, so what you're attempting to do is to actually send an energy pulse through it at the same frequency as the shielding in order to overload it. Star Trek mumbo jumbo, of course. So this means this is going to be a deflector shield technology roll. So Hiro is going to have the primary role, and we're going to have Calvo assisting. All right, so I need an intelligence and deflector shield technology roll from each of you. Let's let Calvo go first to see if we get any bonuses.
That's right. Take both and divide it by half.
Yeah.
Yeah, you add them. Yeah, you average the two. Your deflector shield technology and your intelligence.
All right, that comes out to 46.
And you round up.
You
Or
do
down?
round up.
All right.
You round up. Yeah. Oh, so close.
Do I have to? Oh, okay. I've got to beat a 46.
Yeah, you got to be below the 46. Okay, so that's not any help, unfortunately. All right, Hiro, time to be a hero.
Well, you
Nice.
just put yourself in a sticky situation.
Ah,
Hey!
Yay!
Oh
I'll
my
call
God!
you-
I needed a 62 to pass.
Yeah.
all right.
Star Trek, I squeaked by. Squeaked by.
D stands
Alright.
for degree.
That's
So if
right.
anybody's watching that hasn't been watching this series so far, lower numbers are better in this system.
Yes, yes, it is. All right, so you managed to find the right frequency, adjust the power to where it needs to be, and all right. So, what would be your catchphrase? You're about to hit a button to go do something. Would it be like, "Come on, give us something cheesy and schlocky in Star Trek"?
Catchphrase.
Yes.
Bingo!
Bingo!
That's what I got.
All right, you hit it.
Oh, I'll work on
And-
that for next time.
Yeah.
What you're going to see
Workshop
is in a
that one.
straight, workshop that one. In a straight line towards the city, you're going to see all the lights like get really bright and then dim back to normal until it eventually like fades in the distance. Nothing else happens except the ship's going to radio down and say, "We don't know what you did, but the shield is down. You beautiful bastards, you." Like Seth is going to say, first of all, thank you. Second, that's not proper Starfleet communication procedure. Third, who is that? No response.
Because it wasn't Matt.
It wasn't Matt. So now that
Someone's
that
gunning
happened,
for your job, Skippy.
yeah, he stepped away to go to the bathroom. When he comes back, you'll be informed that the shield is down. So, radio down to the away team, Skips.
Or not.
Or don't. You know, whatever. We can just be left
You're-
in the dark
you're
about
You're
this.
muted.
You're muted. You're muted, Skippy.
Trying to think of phrasing, but I'll radio down to I guess either the captain or commander, saying that communications have been reestablished and that the shielding is down.
Oh, good.
That was preventing it.
Okay.
Captain's going to say, "Well, thank you there, Lieutenant Commander. You saved us a lot of legwork down here. Let me give you a slight update. So we met the program, and Lieutenant Commander Sorab here was so good at communication that it turned itself off, and apparently turned off the program, every copy of itself in every Iosian, or at least all the ones down here. So Did you notice anything like that up there?
I can't say anything about the Iosians half functioning, but there was a large pulse that emanated from the planet.
I feel like that's something
I'm
we
gonna-
could scan for.
I'm gonna guess that was the kill switch. So, all right. Well, we need to send a medical team. We're gonna need a lot of medical teams. Damn. Okay.
So every medical personnel we have available.
Okay.
Hey, Fish. Yes.
Commander or Captain, I believe that what we need is to take this device to, if that energy source sent out a pulse that went across the whole planet, that we can assume that every Iosian is reacting the way that those Iosians did. And if so, the solution should be able to help them. But we need to be able to patch it into the thing that sent that signal. And so what I would recommend is that we get some engineers down here.
Lieutenant Commander, are you gunning for my job? Because I was literally about to say that.
Okay.
I mean, at some point.
Yeah, I
right,
mean, you know.
Yeah, when you're done with done
know.
with your job, I will
Yeah.
gladly
I mean, I'm not getting any
do
younger
a
over
better
here.
job than you are doing right now. But,
So that's gonna happen. All right. So, Fish and Calvo are going to be heading this up because you're your characters in this little story. So eventually, you're gonna find a way to power the facility back up. Get to the power source, reroute things, yada yada yada.
So
Lights
before
back on. Hey.
just before the pulse goes through, I have something to say at that point. Just a heads up. Assuming
What's
it's... Okay, so we're like about to turn it back on.
You're about to well, what you're about to do is do some rolls to determine whether you can successfully patch it into the system.
Okay.
I wanted to ask the captain for one more thing.
Okay.
Apparently, when people wake up from this process, they are very confused about who they are and where they are and what's going on. Can we also get a communications person down here? Because if this works, then presumably we can also use it to communicate something to kind of, like, we have to figure out a message yet, and I presume that that's kind of Morgan's territory. But like, if we can get a communications person down here to figure out how to use this system as a mass communication across the planet, then we could maybe soften the blow of the reboot.
That sounds good. I will bring I'll bring one of our communications officers down here to work on that too. Lieutenant Commander Crystal should be good. He's been doing more IOC than anyone recently. Okay, so down at the room, we're going to have Tim, Matt, Chris, Fish, and the captain, and Commander Morgan, who's going to work with you, Crystal, to determine what exactly we want to say to them. All right, so tinkering with it, the first thing that you figure out is basically what it did is it sent out a selective EMP that basically it wiped out every copy of the program within its radius. So it just erased it.
Hey, that was my idea.
Would there be a way to recreate that at a later date?
I mean, you can try to.
The process, I mean.
Yeah,
I
you
mean-
just blow up, send a nuke into the atmosphere. You're all set.
we have
being the
all of their
selective
records of how they
part.
did it.
We
in front of us.
trust me. There's going to be a lot of research from this technology that's going to be taken back. So, hey, I will not be opposed to plot devices from this campaign being used in the next one. So that would be fun and hilarious, possibly. So remember things and bring them back up for later use. So yeah, that could happen, but we'll get there when we get there. All right, so thing number one to try is to patch into this big sucker and try to wipe do the fish thing to everyone. All right, so for
Gonna get fished.
Gonna get
I don't
fished.
know, guys. Sounds a little fishy to me.
It does. All right. So this is going to be another one of those three-way rolls between intelligence, biotechnology, and communications systems technology, which you also have nothing in.
Are you sure about that? I don't know. I might have like 2 points in it.
Communications
He's
technology, I'm looking
floundering.
at it. He is floundering. Just flopping about. Yeah, I'm looking. Communications and technology, you have nothing in it. However, you are going to get assistance on this.
Katie.
Let's see. All right, so Calvo is going to give me a roll intelligence and communication systems technology, and if you're successful, that's a plus 15. And pull up match.
Okay.
Matt is going to give me communication systems operation and intelligence to see if that helps.
Do you?
That'd be the 56.
Am I available to help out with communication systems technology?
Why not?
Okay.
So that's it's an average of 63 and 10. For
Yeah,
each.
it's gonna be 37.
All right. So any successes is going to add to the roll for points.
No, I do
No.
not help.
It's always such a positive sound when the rolls go through, but even when it's
That's
fair.
right. There should be a wah wah wah. You know.
That should be a success for me. I had to beat a 56.
All right.
56.
What were you beating, Matt?
48
Oof.
is what I was going for.
All right, so coinless. So if the average of intelligence, biotechnology, and communication
That's a
systems
60.
technology. So
It's a
you're trying to
60.
beat a 60?
Well,
Well,
that's
all right.
That's,
Plus
and
whatever
then
bonus
plus
you got
15,
from Chris,
Plus
right?
15, yep.
So 75.
Plus, so another 75.
Okay.
And show me the money.
Ah.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh.
That's pretty bad.
Well, what happens is all of the people, all the Iosians in the facility down here, it works on them, but it doesn't go any farther.
I mean, we just need to plug.
It's just-
Like, okay, is there like a generator for just restoring the power? Because this place clearly has energy, right? Because things like
Right.
technology.
that's
went
already
down.
happened.
Okay, wait.
That's
the power's
already
up
happened.
everywhere.
The power's been restored down here. Yeah, that happened earlier.
Yeah, then we don't need to worry.
AI did not.
Wait,
come
wait,
back.
wait. If all the power is restored, this thing jumps from like energy to energy, so it would just reach the entire planet eventually. We just need to keep plugging a bunch in, and it makes it faster.
Okay, so what exactly are you wanting to do?
If it's
Try
just gonna,
plugging
like-
it in harder.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I should literally just be able to plug it in, and then like it eventually will just like propagate through all of the energy on the planet, assuming it's Iosian technology exclusively.
Okay, all
And
right.
then
That's
everyone
not
would
what
be
you
good.
tried. That's not what you tried, but you can try that now. All right, so you're literally using it for exactly what it was designed for.
Yeah,
correct?
I mean, I was like, okay, guys. So I guess, yeah. So I have a question.
So
Can we,
what
like-
you're gonna find is you're gonna need to scale the design up because
we need to? So we need
physics,
to
logic,
build.
technology.
I know just what to
You-
use. Can I walk back into where the computer was made, just looking at it like, you son of a... And it's kind of like... And it's like, okay, guys, we're going to use this to make a big version. I want to use the corpse of the computer to fix the problem it created.
The captain's gonna say, "Well, I'm sure this won't cause any diplomatic incidents."
You know, it caused a bunch of issues. It can at least solve something with its death.
Is there any way
Wow.
that to do it that does not involve dismantling what was once the most important piece of technology on this entire planet?
Yes.
I would recommend trying that first.
Okay. Do you have like a central cell tower? Like, is there like the center of Iosia? Can we just go there?
I think this is.
This is the center of Iosia.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Okay,
Man.
just underground.
Yeah.
I know the pulse happened, but was that connected to the shield or was the shield independent?
The shield was a separate thing.
Okay, we can just plug it into the shield, and that should make it big enough by amplifying the size of the energy produced.
All right.
Think of it. It goes from being a small wave to a ginormous wave that propagates through the shield.
All right. Well, guess what? That's going to be another role that's going to involve deflector shield technology.
Hey, we need a hero.
Which you also have nothing in.
Hey.
Hey,
I
but
made the
Hero,
goober.
Hero, you can come and help. So. All right.
Are me and Morgan working on the messaging?
Morgan and
Crystal are doing that.
Morgan and Crystal are, so you would also be able to assist if you would so like.
Well, I mean,
pretty
the
sure
question
we'd
is, do you want me to assisting with that or assisting with the engineering stuff? 'Cause
The engineering is more important in the first place, because if we can't even get it out, it doesn't matter if we have a message.
Right. Okay.
So
do you want me doing that then?
yes, so that would
Alright.
be you and Chris and Eric all doing deflector shield technology and intelligence average rolls.
76, 38. So 38 is what I'm rolling against then.
Yep.
There you go.
Yay! So that's 1 plus 15 for pointless.
Hey.
I've got a beat of 46.
Hey, Eric, are you muted?
Eric.
I guess I was.
Aha!
Oh,
Cause you're yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, plus 30.
There you go.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Everyone's nailing it right now.
All right, so you also give us a deflector shield technology and intelligence average.
Oh. Who?
That's you're coming up, Eric.
Wait, I already rolled. Wait, do
Okay,
I
that's
roll
why,
again?
Wait.
Seven,
Oh, were
is
you
that it?
muted?
Yeah.
I was muted during that time, but I already rolled.
Yeah, I
Okay,
see a
so
7.
Which wasn't helpful, but
That
Yeah.
was a failure, so no. All right, so Coinless, you're going to be rolling
All
the
I
average
need to know-
of...
It's intelligence, biotechnology, and then a 0.
Correct.
That's 60.
So the same that
plus- just
60 plus 30, so a 90.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I already got a 96, so we no,
Don't say
not-
anything about your odds until you roll those dice, Coinless. I swear to God.
I am God.
Hey! All right. So
I
what's going to
can't
happen
fail.
is the shield is going to come back up, and then it's just going to expand just until it encompaces it just it makes it throughout the entire planet effectively.
So as this happens, like it activates the thing and it starts affecting people.
Did we tell Sess that we were going to do this, or is she freaking out about the shield stone coming back on?
Wait, who?
Sess, up on the ship. Like, the shield just encompassed the whole friggin' planet! I thought we turned that off, damn it.
Yeah, no one actually thought to tell her that was what they were trying
I
next.
thought we
so...
were just trying to see if it was compatible. I didn't think we'd actually activated it yet.
Alright, well, there it is.
Oh, okay. Well, it is compatible. Did you want to activate it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I just wanted before that. I kind of wanted to like hold the device in my hand and be the absolute biggest narcissist and just kind of say, "It's like, oh, Iosians." It's like, there's no need to wonder where your god is, because I'm here, and I brought you your miracle. And just plug it in.
People are literally suffering. Fish.
I brought you that.
He's not.
Plug the box in.
He's not a benevolent god. Remember this. He's not a benevolent god.
Hey, to be fair, the last one wasn't much better.
Remember, the Prime Directive does
Hashtag
not
God
apply in this situation, so he's okay with saying that.
We're well beyond that. You know how many how many meetings there's going to be at Starfleet and the Federation about everything that happened here?
At least I didn't broadcast what I was saying.
Oh,
over
at
the
least
entire-
2.
At least 2.
Just on fish.
No, there's probably like several that.
Yes. We're going to have
And
a war
then-
criminal in our crew. Nice.
It's gonna be
Okay.
this that whole thing like, oh, comedy never reads well in court. To be sitting there.
Yeah.
Did you say I am your god now?
Yeah,
Dr.
but you
Sim?
see, I say it. but
As you were
see it-
dissecting their god? Yeah. Maybe not the exact words,
Zorab
but, you
killed
know.
their god. I just said I was the new one.
Excuse me. I killed no one.
Yeah,
You
you're
just
right.
made them kill
you
themselves.
convinced them to commit suicide. It's very different.
Completely accidentally.
I completed their life, okay? I like to think
Hey.
that.
I achieved everything. I achieved all of their hopes and goals.
I
Yes.
helped them transcend, okay?
Yes.
That's what happened.
I cleaned
very
up the
It's not
mess.
my fault they couldn't find meaning beyond their simple programming.
You'll be the Hades and I'll be the Zeus.
Oh, jeez.
I'll take
All
that.
right. Well, with our god complex over now,
I feel like it's only
Is
just
it, though?
begun.
Is it? I was gonna say, is it? I feel like this is on brand for him. You know?
It's
By the
like
end,
writing a
end of
memoir,
the
it's just
season,
called
he's gonna be, bow before me.
How I saved an entire planet.
Yeah.
And then it's like everyone else's name just slowly crossed off.
When he creates the
He will-
Borg, this is going to be his moment of.
When he leaves the show, he is going to rule a planet somehow. Like that's inevitable.
I
As a
forget
deity.
what it was called. It was I wanted to go to that specific planet all the time. Not Romulus.
Hope not.
oh no. Okay.
All right.
Communication side of things. What's this message that's going to be getting sent out? All
It's
right.
heavily
That was
redacted.
This
Heavily
part is
redacted.
luckily easy because you're just sending a message. That's not. There are literally systems designed to do exactly that. So the question is, what is the content of said message? That's a great question. What is the content of said message?
That's what the commander was informing me
Whatever the
about.
commander wants to
The
say.
message is don't panic.
All right.
Take a towel.
What's actually going to happen is they're going to bring the Grand Chancellor in, who has been calmed down enough to at least understand what's going on. So she's going to read basically a script compared by Commander Blaine, Morgan. Say, to all of the citizens of Iosia, this is your Grand Chancellor. I don't have to tell you that our lives have been irreparably changed by the events of the last few days. What our society has been built on, the program, no longer exists. It's just us now. To fend for ourselves, to survive in this intergalactic community.
With help. With buddies.
With the Tim, don't undercut me. In the interstellar community, without the methods that we've been using before. But we don't have to do it alone. We have the Federation to help us now. They're going to help us pick up the pieces of the life that we used to have, the society that we used to have, and march forward into the future to whatever it is that the universe has for us next. I can tell you for the first time in my life, I'm terrified, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. For the first time in my life, I'm a lot of things, just like all of you. But we'll make it. We can do this. We're Iosians, but now we're also members of the Federation. This is your Grand Chancellor saying, we can do this. End of communication. And if this were an episode, I feel like that would be where the episode ends.
Yeah, probably.
Captain's log.
I think so.
Yeah. Considering it's 11:15, I think that's the perfect way to end off today's session.
The episode would end with the
Captain's
Lexington
log.
going to warp out, would be leaving
Or-
orbit and going to warp.
Yes,
Yeah.
as at over the like the monologue is over that. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes. All right. Cool.
Beautiful, beautifully done, crew. I love it.
Very nice.
And now I have no use for the goober. Maybe. Question mark.
Well, you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
It's the issue of, it's like, I need to make sure I don't keep breaking things.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Excellent.
For this session being the end of an episode, everyone's going to get 3 points.
Hey,
that's
3 points.
That's an exceptional amount. So 3 of them.
All right.
And remember, unfortunately, I don't think Dave got to make any rolls. I apologize for that, but you do get to keep those for later use. So sorry that wasn't able to give you anything to roll for. But trust me, there'll be plenty to do in the story arc coming next. I will say, I did not expect to wrap this whole campaign up in one session. This went way smoother than I thought.
Deflector shield technology.
I did toy with the Romulans showing up, but I decided, nah, let's just let's put a bow on this. So.
Yeah. All right, excellent. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up stream. So thank you very much for joining us. This has been Star Trek Lexington, Last of the Line, presented here by Rabbit Haberdashery, where we're playing the Star Trek role-playing game from FASA. And we will continue this next Thursday with whatever the Lexington goes to after leaving Iosia, I guess. And as we continue the adventures of the Lexington in the year 2300...
2400.
2400 doing...
No, sorry, 20. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Never mind. I'm muting.
2300 doing second contact missions as a legacy ship. So thank you very much. Again, we are raising money for Extra Life. That link is there in the chat. You can also support this channel directly through Patreon or... where's my box here? There we go. Through Patreon or Coffee. You can also subscribe to this channel and help us to do cool things, which we will have goals listed soon because it was discussed that we should have goals. And the first one is going to be that we make more video content for like the intro and outros of various things we have going on. Also, I'm going to be soon, I've had quite the week so I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm going to soon be reviewing a game that I have never played before at the request of Eric. And if I like it, it's going to become a thing that this channel does. So tune in for that as soon as that happens, and I'll explain more details then. But it sounds like it's going to be fun. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Oh, if you're in New England and you're interested in the paranormal, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I will be at Salem Paracon at Salem State University in Salem, Massachusetts. I just said Salem a whole lot of times, but that's how it works. So it's a paranormal convention. Really excited to be there. If you are interested in the paranormal, you want to swing by, pick up some books, chat a bit, whatever. That's where I'll be. So Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. till I think 5 or 6 in the evening, every night, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there. So hopefully I will see some of you then. So thank you very much. Have a good night and a great weekend.
Live long and prosper.
Prosper.